Can you personally tell the difference between someone who's maybe a psychopath, a narcissist, and a genius? Can you tell the difference based on, and are there tendencies of all three, I guess?
That's a really good question. You can be a genius and also be kind, right? That doesn't necessarily, you can be a narcissist and a genius for sure. But the genius isn't necessarily overlapping the other ones. There are a couple pieces that I look for. I look for what my kids call crazy eyes. So remember I talked about we pull our upper eyelids way back? You know, we do this, right? So that's a piece of fear. So if I walk into a room and I see somebody, maybe standing with a gun behind you or like pulling out a knife, my upper eyelids are gonna pull way back. That fits, right? If I'm in a scary situation, something scares me, or somebody jumps out, or there's a loud noise, I'm gonna pull my upper eyelids back, and that
like crazy
matches.
Eyes.
Yeah, okay, but that matches. But we don't ever in fear. The only time we will pull our upper eyelids back and hold them is roller coaster, haunted house, terror,
loud noise.
Right.
Yeah.
We never hold our upper eyelids pulled way back, except when we're nuts.
When you're a psychopath. You just like
Ted
that
Bundy,
all the time.
Hitler.
Really?
I'm going to get in so much trouble for this. Elizabeth Holmes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, see, your face immediately goes to like, there's a lot of people in the public eye, the school shooters, if you look at the pictures of them,
they have their eyes like that a lot.
They always they're showing their sclera. And there's something about mental instability and volatility, and I'm not safe, and I don't know what it is. And I've done a lot of research, just my own private research on that. But I almost always find that somebody who's committed a heinous crime and a really violent crime, they're almost always 20-30% of their pictures that you can find up on the line where they're holding that.
That's interesting.
Okay, so watch the facial expression of fear, the full facial expression of fear, and it makes me shiver. Right? Watch when I take the bottom half of my face and turn it into joy or arousal or cheerfulness.
That is weird.
It's super creepy, and it sends all these itchy signals to my brain. But it's out of context. It doesn't match, and your whole body, your whole nervous system knows that when you see it. When I give you the vocabulary to pull this and dissect it, you're going, oh my God, I just talked about this thing and that person showed crazy eyes, almost like they were, there's horror and arousal at the same, there should not, that's the Joker's face from Batman, the arousal in the horror, the joy in the horror. That's terrible.
The joy in the horror.
Right.
That's something to watch out for.
That is something to watch out for.
Now, are people, I guess are psychopaths, are they more like that all the time, or is that only sometimes?
They seem to show it a lot.
Right.
And I don't really, it's almost like I'm not all the way to the finish line with that research. I just know.
Something seems inauthentic, though.
Something's inauthentic. And you can have somebody who is not a bad person, but who is going through a period of severe trauma and mental instability, also have that sort of constant deer in the headlight looks. So you have to be careful. All of these facial expressions, you have to put them in context.
You need context.
And it's not you see this in somebody, they're automatically a bad or a dangerous person. But they are more likely, in my experience, to be violent against others or themselves. You sometimes see that facial expression before somebody takes their own life. Yeah.
Wow.
So there's something, there's some, serious emotional health issue.
With a psychopath, essentially, yeah.
Yeah, and yeah.
If you're looking for a business partner, or you're looking to hire someone for an opportunity or a job or a contract, and you want to set yourself up for the best chance of success with the partnership, what are a few questions you could ask someone to see their responses and see if it'll at least align with, okay, I'm setting myself up for success. Maybe this person won't work out in this career or this job or this business partnership, but I have good enough information where I feel like they're not going to try to screw me over. And they want the best in this relationship as well. What's a question or two you could ask to evoke a facial expression to see whether or not, okay, we're in alignment?
Right. So obviously stay away from, in general, the yes or no questions. The yes or no questions can be used to follow up.
Okay. So you could say it, but then follow up with something.
Right.
Yeah.
But I would generally ask open-ended questions, and I would ask things like, tell me a little bit about why you want this role, or why you want to work with me, why you want to work with this business, and then watch to see that this person is one. I mean, they have to give interesting answers, right? The answer itself needs to be something that is motivating for me, or feels like this person's a good fit, like they have the skills and they have the desire. But I am watching if they match.
Their facial expression
match
matches
the words.
A lot of people can say, oh, all the exciting things of why they want to be a partner or work at the job or whatever it might be, but their face isn't matching the words.
Yeah.
Then you can tell something's off. Yeah.
So this is suppression. We make that bubble. It's almost like, the people who do the chewing tobacco. So sometimes they tick it up. Right, exactly. They stuff it in the bottom. So sometimes they put it up top, but it's almost a Nordic country boy, like, chewing tobacco thing. And it's not even a micro expression, but it's because it takes so many muscles to make that. Barack Obama, king of suppression, makes that face all the time. I'm holding back. Doesn't he?
What's he hold back on, you think? How he truly feels? Or
how he truly feels, or this is, this information is not going to help, or this is not going to be received well. I mean, you can imagine self-control is a good quality in a leader.
Right, but he's saying, there's something he's not happy with.
Right, he wants to say more. It's the grown-up version of this.
He wants to say something.
He's biting our tongue.
But he's being mindful of that. Okay, I might hurt myself if I say how I truly feel.
Right. Also could be simply if we're in a meeting and the meeting's going over and some subject is brought up and I'm like, I have so many thoughts about this, but I'm not right now. So it's just you're itching to say it. So that holding back is such a useful thing to see in board meetings and any conversation. So if I see somebody holding back on what they really feel, that would be a warning for me in a one-to-one interview. If we're in a big group setting, I would pull that person aside afterwards, because likely they're not saying it because it's not something they want to say out loud in front of those specific people or in a group setting. But the person will almost always spill.
Interesting.
Afterwards.
So it's information telling you, hey, there's something underneath this expression. Let's ask more.
But I would just generally, the more you know about microexpressions, the more it gives you the underlying emotion of what's going on. Yes. And I think as humans, we like to even tell ourselves that I'm not letting my emotions steer. I'm making rational decisions. But how many business decisions are made on, I want this? Okay, and it makes sense because A, B, C, and D.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm going to justify hiring this person because I really want to. But the microexpressions will give us that additional layer of seeing the red flag and getting the science to the red flag. It makes it much safer because if we see the red flag and we can dissect why we see the red flag, we're going, I'm not going to invest in this relationship. I'm going to stop myself before I get emotionally or financially attached.
Yeah, and before there's some bigger commitment or something. This is fascinating. Thank you for watching this video. If you want more inspiring clips like this, make sure to click right here to subscribe and click right here to watch that next video that is specific to support you in your life.